Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to show you how to make this Valentine's Day heart wreath. And for this project we are going to need a heart wreath form. I got mine at the dollar store, and this chunky yarn from Walmart. It's a size 6. And something to hang your wreath. I got this burlap because I couldn't find a ribbon anywhere. But you can use whatever you have on hand. And also, we're not going to use a crochet hook for this tutorial. We're going to use our hands. Okay, so we're going to start on this side of our wreath. And I'm just going to grab my yarn. As I said, I got this at Walmart. And you're only going to need one skein for this project. Okay, so we're going to grab our yarn and we're going to make a slip knot. Okay, here's our slip knot. And I'm going to put it on the back of my wreath with the slip knot on the top. And I'm going to grab the yarn from the bottom. And I'm going to get it through my slip knot here. And I'm going to be making another loop about the same size as the previous one. Okay, so there's that. And then the yarn that I have on my hand, I'm gonna pull it through the bottom. Okay, we're gonna keep touching our keep holding our loop. And I'm just gonna show you again. You put your slip knot. Okay, here's your slip knot. You put it through the back. Grab the yarn. Get that through and make another loop. So here's my loop. Then I grab the yarn again and get it under my wreath. Okay, and then I get it in that loop again. And I have another loop made. Okay. So here's our loop. And now we're going to grab the yarn from the back, and we're going to get it to the front side and get that inside our loop again, like so. Try to make all your loops about the same size. Okay, so now again we're gonna grab the yarn and get it through that bottom to the back, get it in the loop. Oops. Okay, we're gonna get it in that loop again. So here's our loop, and then the yarn is on the back side, so we're gonna get it to the front side. So basically what we're doing is we're alternating our yarn back and forth into the wreath, and that's just going to help our yarn not get tangled into our wreath form. Okay, so now I have 3 of those loops made. Okay, so we're going to grab again, and now it's in the front, so I'm going to get it to the back. Remember, we're just alternating. So after this loop here, I'm gonna grab the yarn, and I accidentally put it in the front instead of the back, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be any direction you want. I just like to do it like that so my yarn doesn't get tangled in the process. But just don't worry about how perfect you do the direction of your stitches, just as long as you wrap all the yarn around the wreath, it's gonna look just fine. Okay, so I hope by now you get the hang of how we're gonna do this. Basically, we're doing the same thing until we get our wreath full of this yarn. So continue to make loops. Remember to make your loops about the same size. Okay, when you have the yarn, you get it through the loop and you make another loop with that yarn. So here's how it's looking. If you find that it's a little sparse, you can push the stitches so it looks fuller. Alright, so continue to do the same thing until you're halfway of the wreath, and I'll show you how to continue. Alright, so we are halfway our wreath form. I'm just pushing those stitches. Okay, so I'm gonna continue to make more of them. Okay, and I just wanted to show you how to get to through that peak right here. It can be a little tricky, but we're just gonna do the same as before. We're gonna continue to make our stitches, but in that peak right here, you can either leave it like that, or you can do is get a hot glue and glue that so it doesn't move around. I didn't glue mine because I didn't think it was necessary, but if you don't want that yarn moving around, you can just glue that peak so it doesn't show through your yarn. So right here you can see that peak showing, and all I did was just push my yarn to hide it. And like I said, if you don't want to do that, you can just hot glue your yarn and it's gonna stay in place. And from this point on, we're going to continue to do what we've been doing until our wreath form is full of yarn. So just continue to do that, and I will see you back to the starting point. Okay, so now we are back. We're almost back to our starting point. So here I'm making my last stitches, and this is gonna be this almost the same as the peak that we passed in the middle of our wreath. I'm just gonna leave it like that, but you can glue that so it doesn't move. So I'm just gonna keep making more stitches until it's full enough that that peak in the middle doesn't show through my yarn. Alright, so here I think I have enough of those stitches to cover that. And all I'm gonna do now is grab my scissors and cut that yarn. Now we're just gonna weave our ends through the back, and I'm just gonna tie that with the previous strand from our very first slip knot, and I'm gonna make a knot, and I will be weaving the ends through the back of the wreath so they don't show. So I'm just doing it with my hands here. And when you're done weaving in your ends, you can just cut that excess yarn off. Okay, so here it is, you guys. Our heart wreath is finished. And all we have left is to get a ribbon and glue it to the back of a wreath, and then now we can hang it in our door. And I wanted to show you guys my burlap. I decided to cut it in half, and then those strands I cut them in half again so they would be thinner. So if you have a ribbon or a burlap, whatever you have, you can just glue that to the back of your wreath, and then you're gonna be able to hang it on your door. Or you could hang it sideways. That would be a nice way to do it too. It's up to you guys, whatever you guys feel like it's gonna look good. So here's, I'm gonna show you how it would look if you hung it this way. Okay guys, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you back on my next video. Bye.